It is time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, for another installment of Stories from My Youth. So when I was in high school, there was this English teacher, kind of infamous for being awesome, named Mr. Kim. He exclusively taught the senior honors English course. So, being that I was on track to take AP English as a senior, I knew that I wasn't going to have him as a teacher, and I was kind of sad about that. But whatever, life goes on. Then, as a sophomore, something happened. I don't know if we had too many students in honors English or just there was a mishap with scheduling or what, but Mr. Kim got assigned one single solitary sophomore honors English course. I got lucky enough to wind up in his one and only not senior English class. Mr. Kim was one of my favorite teachers that I've ever had, and I would like to share with you a few little stories about the experience I had in his class, and hopefully you will enjoy hearing them as much as I will enjoy reliving them for you. Okay, here goes. So on the very first day of class, we all walk in, and we sit down, bell rings, classroom's empty, teacher's nowhere to be found. That's kind of weird, right? Usually the teacher's on time, especially on the first day of classes, and then suddenly, right after the bell rings, what happens? This tiny Korean man rolls in on a pair of Heelys. I think this was the moment when we all realized this was gonna be a good year. Another time, we walked in to find the word "Hey!" written on the chalkboard in huge letters, taking up the entire wall. Being 16-year-olds, much immature chuckling happened, chortling, if you will. Purpose of the word "Hey!" being written in gigantic letters on the walls was because somehow this was relevant to the lesson that day that "Hey!" originally stood for fornication under consent of the king. Or, yeah. Another time he was talking about, language and how it's constructed and how an object is not that object's name or something like that. And so he wrote chair on the chalkboard. Asked us, is this a chair? We were like, yeah. It says chair, it's chair, you're talking about a chair. And then he's like, no, you're wrong! And then he grabs a chair, lifts it over his head and starts violently shaking it, going, this is a chair! To illustrate the fact that language does not depict the existence of an object or something. I don't even remember the lesson there, but the point is, scared the shit out of us. It was very entertaining in retrospect. And then there were the stories he would tell. He would just go off on a tangent, talking about a thing that had happened to him in the past, such as this one time when he was at a party and this crazy woman who was very angry at a man who apparently looked a bit like Mr. Kim from behind, grabbed a fork and stabbed him in the shoulder with it to get back at this person she was angry at. But this person was not Mr. Kim. This woman did not bother to make sure this was the right dude before she stabbed him with a fork. It was pretty memorable, this class. This man was the reason I learned that Disney fairy tales are not all happy and flowers and rainbows, originally. He was the one who introduced us to Grimm's fairy tales, is what I'm saying. He introduced a room full of 15 and 16-year-olds to the dancing as a metaphor for sex, and also dancing to death being a punishment thing. That was him. Man, I missed that class. That was a fun class. Good times. Peace, love, geekdom. Bye. Was it in the frame? I always do this down here and it's not in the frame, so now I'm up here. Love.